Hello, and we're live. Thank you for returning for part two of Should the Africans' Land Be Given Back to Them? And this is part two of a segment that was on earlier today. And we're hoping that we can get our dear brother in here, L.A. Harris, who wanted to speak and take the floor, but because of unforeseen circumstances, he was not available to get on the mic. Now, we're going to hope that LA will come and join us in the Facebook room. I see that it looks like he might be watching. Let's see. Hello, Abida, and hello, Donnie Carter, and hello, LA. Now, LA, we're going to give you the floor and let you talk if you are here. So please do come up where you can embrace the mic and take the floor, because I know you have much to say on the topic. There is much discussion going on about the Africans. We could imagine that it's a climate of frustration, of indecisions of what's going to happen. These people, the Anglos, have been on this land for some time now, and the Africans now want it legally to be redistributed back to its rightful owner. And that's what usually happens when you don't have a title or a deed to land that you're residing on. Here in the United States, of course, you must have land that is deeded to you and titled over to you. And usually what has been happening here, they've also had some problems with fraudulent behavior in deeding the property to people when they have actually gotten quick deeds, and some people have went and had various different deeds made up that were inappropriate and that were illegal. So we want to say, for the benefit of the people, that land has to be properly deeded and titled in the appropriate people's names, and it can't be clouded. And what that means is that there's someone else's name on the deed. Once the deed has been clouded, you cannot move forward to finalize the sale or the purchase of a home, because the deed has become clouded, and you must satisfy the other people that are on that deed, and they must be accommodated, and the first lien holders. Now, I don't know what the situation is in Africa, but we've invited L.A. Harris back to talk to us about Africa during his time of stay in the motherland. What was it like to be there? And how were the South Africans functioning many years ago while these Anglos were on their property? Were they working up until this point? And is this an explosion that whose time has finally come? Was it chaos prior to this year with the Africans trying to get the Anglos off their land? Or did this suddenly just happen? Or was this a process? And LA, if you're in the room, please let us know you're in the room and that you are now free to come to the mic. Now, I will have to confess that coming to the mic is something I cannot help you with, but I know that in the past, Ella, you've been able to come up to the mic and click on a button, and then you actually create another window. Now, do I need to do that for you, to create another window so you can get in there? Let me see. I think that was just to invite you. I know that there was a way I could bring somebody in here with me. LA, if you could hear me, please let me know. No viewers are invited. Okay. I've invited some viewers, but okay. Report problem settings. Let's see. Sound in the app, videos, and new feed. Start with sound. Continues content upload. Upload video. Upload photos and let me see here. Yeah, dang. Let's see. All right, people, just hold on. I'm trying to see if I can set this up so that I can have some people come on. Hello, and we're live. Thank you for returning for part 2 of Should the Africans Be Given Back to Them? And this is 2 of a segment that was on earlier today. And we're hoping that we can get our dear brother Okay, let me see here. I'm still trying to see what I could do here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it looks like I've done everything I can do to get Brother L.A. Harris on here. And if you're still in the audience, Brother L.A. Harris, will you please okay. We are live. Let me see if I can comments will appear here. I'm gonna see if I can get the people back in the room. I am back in the room, and I've been trying to see if I can get a pull-in for Brother Harris so that he can actually appear in my screen in a photo. So I have done everything I can do, and LA, if you're in the audience, please do wave at me or say something. Hello, Paula. Or who is this? Hello, Paul Bogard. How are you? And this is part 2. We had a segment going on earlier today, and this is part 2, talking about should the Africans be given their land back, and what type of statutes or laws or regulations do we suppose that's out there. Hello, Edith Glass, nice to see you. What kind of statutes are out there in the law that can be used by these Africans to circumvent having to put these Anglos off their land by using force? Now, Mr. Enforcer, he used force when he was taking over this land. Mr. Enforcer used force to colonize these areas of Africa, like South Africa. He used force by physically abusing people and to the point of killing some people, I understand. But I don't think that the Africans want to stoop that low, that they have to use physical force to kill someone to remove them from the land. I hope that they are abiding by the laws of the land, and that not only are they abiding by it, they're using the Constitution as their force to enforce these Anglos having to move off the land by getting ordinance and showing that they cannot produce a title or deed to the land. And if it is, trying to appeal to the government and the courts to show that it is illegal the way that they confiscated and came by purchasing or illegally cohabitating on their land. And they're just like some squatters. And I was told that if they are sitting on the land and they are squatting on the land and the property, the rightful owners can go and get ordinance to have them removed. So I don't know if Julius Malenta has actually gone and getting any ordinance to have these people removed, but I do know that he's going to the extreme to have all kinds of hearings, and the court hearings are being recorded online on YouTube, and it's very vital that they handle these procedures in the proper manner, because if they don't, they can see this situation backfiring and having these Anglos to go and create laws or go and have their buddies to draw up addendums and referendums that will give them the rights to stay on this land. Now, what do you think? Are there people in the audience that have any opinion on this? Hello, Joe Scott, nice to see you. Are there any people in the audience that can talk back to me and tell me what they think? Hello, Denario Tabs and Wendell Ross, how are you? So why don't you guys get some white coats on so you can talk back to me? This is the time when you really want to speak back and shout out your opinion, because I am just speculating. I am not over there in Africa, but I do know it's high time that the African race rise up and put their good foot down and demand their rights. So many times we've been shot down for demanding our rights, and so many times we have become the victim, and the victimizer has gone without any type of reprimanding. So in this situation, it is vital that we meet on this. This is a crucial time because I know this young brother, Julius Malenta, is going to reflect somehow on some of the great black leaders here in the United States, and he's going to ask for our help. And he's going to ask for us to make a statement as to where we stand on this topic. Because we know you cannot just go to sleep on this one, and you cannot wake up and think it's going to go away. It's only going to get worse before it gets better. Now, these people have been on this land scot-free, taking advantage of these Africans in South Africa, and they've had a free ride for a long time. But now they are the one crying bloody murder, saying, look at what they're doing to us. We don't have to leave. This is our country. Now, how did it become their country if they were just over there initially as when they first came over, they came over in disguise as missionaries. Now, let's talk about how the missionaries got there and what was their mission. I found this out and I was rather appalled. How you doing, Kawan Davis? Now, Kawan, tell them how you got your white coat. Can you type something up there, Kawan? Because we are looking for some speakers now to go up front on the platform and to be able to share the screen with me. So, Kawan, I noticed you have your white coat. You can go up to the front, and I'd like to hear from you. And hello, Sandra Bell. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, I was just proposing a question, and I was asking a question about how did these people come by this land? And did they win it through a lottery? Did they go to the courthouse and buy back the house from tax sale? Or did they just see that it was vacant land and they cohabitated on the land and took over the land? What do you suppose? Is there any type of feeling? Are you feeling any kind of way about how they came about to be the landowners of this land? Now, I was watching a couple of televised shows. They might have been pre-recorded. And these were some of the Anglos talking about how nice they have made the environment for the workers and how they have given the family a place to raise their children as long as they worked the land and didn't manage it, just let them manage it. Hello, Pearlie Baker. Hello, Vincent Veno Allen. How are you? Now, let me see that gentleman, Kawan. Can you go up to the front and request to have a screen so you could come up front and then you could tell everybody how to get their white jackets? I have to confess, the fifth, that I don't know a whole lot about the setup of the Facebook's new machine, because it's allowing us to talk back. And when I first came on Facebook, they didn't have these kind of features. And now they've upgraded it, and there's a way that you can manipulate and get these people to using this. Let me see. Share. Okay. Hide chat. Mute. Let's see. Oh, that's just giving me something else. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I can't seem to find a way to connect you guys up to the microphone or where you could write. But I've hit every button down here that I can think of, and I can't seem to find out which button it is. Okay. How did you get your white screen, Kawan? What did you have to do? Now, at one time, I had L.A. Harris in, and he was speaking. No viewers to invite. Add viewers to be in your broadcast. Let's see. Oh, my God. at the viewers. I just don't know what's going on. And I'm working on this and manipulating this. Just give me a second here. I'd like to know, can you hear me? Okay, just wait for a second here. Now, hello, Diana Appleseed, how are you? Okay, Diana Appleseed has her little white jacket on. Oh, I think you guys got to go up and, let's see here. You got to go up and type something, okay? And if you all will go up and type something, it will allow you to have a screen. Yeah, there you go, Diana. If you type something, if everyone will type something, then they will have a white screen, and then they'll be able to type. How you doing, Will? Okay, well, if everybody will type something like, hello, my name is, and once you type, then all of you will have a white screen. Then you'll be able to communicate. There you go. Diana Appleseed has already typed something, so she said hello. I'm fine, good. I can communicate with you, but the rest of these people in this room, I hope you're here, because if you are here, you need to type something. Will, can you type something for me? Okay, I see other people that are typing something. You gotta type something, people. You gotta type something on your events. And Pearlie, you gotta type something. Sandra, you need to type something. And let's see who else is here. Winnell and Tabs, you need to type something. Joe Scott. Edith, you need to type something. Paul, you need to type something. Everybody else has a white jacket on. I can talk to you. Okay, let me say something. How do you feel about the situation with these Anglos having to be put off the land of the South Africans? How do you feel about it? You think it's right? Do you think that they've waited too long, whereas the statute of limitation has expired? Or do you feel that they're rightful in their effort to disenfranchise these Anglos of their homeland? And some of them are sent crying, leaving, saying that they've been abused and they've been hurt, and now some of them are leaving the country. Do you think it's right for the Africans to ask them to give up their boarding pass when they've been staying there free of charge for over 5, 10, 15, 20 years? How do you feel about this? I need to hear from somebody. How do you feel about this? I see some eyes up here. Whose eyes are these? Your eyes are green, 'cause you eat a lot of vegetables, but there ain't nothing that can keep my eyes from growing green. Okay, just sing a little Erykah Badu. Okay, is everyone got their white lab coats on? No, Sandra, you haven't. You can't talk. Pearlie can't talk. Vince can't talk. And who else in here can't talk? Diana, you have got your white jacket on. I can talk to you. Will, I can talk to you. I'm just waiting for the rest of the people. Are you guys statues or what's going on? Kawan, I see you got your white jacket, but you haven't said anything. Now, we're going to have class participation. You can't just be sitting up in here taking up space. You got to start doing some communication. Now, LA, if you are out there, we're going to find you because you asked to be a part of this. So we did this second segment just for you. Just for you. Let me see. I'm trying to get LA to be my viewer here. Let's see. I'm still trying to get. What's the view on your Wi-Fi? Allow viewers to send. I don't know what's going on here. I'm going to put LA up here and see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hang on for 1 minute. I'm trying to see if I can get LA in here. I've invited LA, so I don't know where he's at, but hopefully he'll show up. LA, if you're out there in the television land, please do click us on. Okay, I see Kawan is saying, no, it's not right. Very good, Kawan. Thank you so much for that input. So why do you feel that way, Kawan Davis? Why do you feel that it's not right? Or is that, should it be a discussion about Africans retrieving their land back? Did they default on the fact that they never got any kind of ordinance to remove them? Now the statute of limitation has run its course. Or what do you feel? I feel that personally, every one of you should have an opinion about this. This is going to reflect on how they look at giving us our land back. Because I don't know if you know it or not, but when Lincoln had put the ordinance out for the 40-acre and a mule for the people that were living around the southern state like Georgia and Florida, he actually put out the ordinance and the decree. And they were given the land and they were cohabitating on the land. But they changed the laws and reversed them and took the people off the land. Now, this is a different set of circumstances over in Africa. This is a set of circumstances where people just went and cohabitated on the land, these Angelos, without anyone giving them any instruction. They just went and cohabitated on the land, took over the land, started taking the land and taking out loans on the land and distracting second mortgages and literally living off the land as if they benefited from somebody else's elders and ancestors' legacies. They've been stealing and stockpiling all their lives. They think it's natural that no one will say anything or do anything to them. So they took it upon themselves to stay there beyond their welcome. So I think what Julius Malenta is doing is fantastic. He is speaking out about it. He has formalized and organized themselves to create all of these boards and these speakeasies and platforms. They're really, really acting like professionals, if you ask me. Now, the question would be whether or not us African Americans have that ability to organize in that fashion, or will we have to borrow some of the strategic procedures from our brother Julius Malenta? Or will we have to connect ourselves with their effort so that we can become very strong in our strategic organization. Because right now, if someone was to tell us that we can stand up and take a platform for our land, the question is, would we be ready? Do we know all the procedures and ins and outs to take in order to stand up for ourselves and to speak on behalf of the rights of African American and their reparation? Because that's truly what it is. And if most of you read your history that are frowning upon reparation, you see that it was given before. And you'll see that reparation is more than monetary gains. There's some equality that's embedded in the reparation out of respect that must be given back. It's not solely pertaining to the money. It's solely pertaining to someone took something from you, just like they did the Africans, and they took your land and prospered from it, and they set it aside for their trust funds for their children to have a legacy while your children go on struggling. Well, it doesn't look equal and it doesn't look fair. And we're going to have to learn the hard way. And we're going to have to take a lesson from Julius Malema and the South Africans as to what we need to lay grounds for and how to lay hold on our property and our reparation. We're in the same boat. We're no different from them. And we are struggling because we don't know how to approach the situation, because we're divided in our philosophy and in our belief system about reparation. We're divided amongst ourselves. And a house divided cannot stand. And if we're divided amongst ourselves where we're arguing, no, I don't think we deserve reparation. Oh, we couldn't handle it. It's not a moral decision. It is a legacy of our ancestors who laid down work. They put down work and they put the work out. And when you put the work out, there are benefits called pensions. And some of our ancestors never recouped a pension. And they're still grave robbers to this day, robbing people of their pension. May their households be cursed down to the 1,000th generation. Anytime you beat people out of their pension, you beat them out of their livelihood, that is a livelihood that can be passed on to your lineage. But if someone has audacity to try to beat you out of your pension, they're taking your livelihood away from you. And you should take every precaution to appeal that, because there are school districts right now, as I speak, that are beating teachers out of their pension so that they don't get a piece of the pie. Well, I'll tell you, if they don't get their piece of the pie some kind of way, the money is going to be taken out of your children's legacy and trust funds. I guarantee, preventing and hoping that you don't get a chance to exercise your rights to Social Security or to a pension. But you must set the record straight that man cannot give you wealth or cannot increase your ability to be promoted. Only God can. Stay righteous and look for a miracle and believe that God is going to get money into the proper hands of those who deserve it. So when your children no longer have your pension to pass on, that means the government has more money for him or herself because your share of the pension has not been properly divided. And somebody's got to pay for this, just like the Africans are paying right now for what they've done to take the money out of the hands of the Africans who cannot leave legacies for their children. And maybe this time, there's enough time to recoup the money out of the land and to use the land for their equity so they can pull money out and request second mortgages so they can have the ability to get riches. Because that's truly a rich continent full of minerals, full of all sorts of properties and blood diamonds. And for our people to be sleeping on the floor on the hard, dusty floor and not have capable and able water industries and not have homes to live in that are built from clay. That is a shame, the way that they have left our people. That goes to show you that they have no regards for humanity. And they have not thought about this for over years with apartheid just beloved. And they want us to know about the Bible, right? They want us to have all kinds of things to do with the Bible so we can go to heaven. And they are fighting for our life so we don't get lost in the midst of oblivious. Well, let me tell you something. Missionaries have a real job to do. And unfortunately, they wrote out the instructions of what their job was.